boy, this is some dramatic music we got going on for our intro here, huh? There we are. Yeah, it's kind of intense going on here, isn't it? Nothing wrong with that, but I don't know. I tried to mix up the music a little bit. I feel like I just sort of default to the lo-fi stuff every single time, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. But I don't know. I just felt like flavoring something different today. So here we are. Here we are. It is Monday. Monday, manic Mondays. Wish it were Sunday, because that's my fun day. My I don't have to run day. But it's just another manic Monday. But yeah, here we are. And as it's Monday, that means it's time to get some writing done. Yeah, I've been feeling good about it. I've been feeling inspired and enthusiastic to kind of keep working with this. I love having projects to work on in general. I think having a project and setting yourself goals and due dates is an important thing, and depending on who you're talking to, I think it's pretty underrated. I think a lot of people tend to get to a point in their life where they just sort of coast on whatever they've already achieved, and they don't think too too often on challenging themselves and creating new things that they want to try and achieve. So but for me, I don't know, I kind of thrive on that type of stuff. So here I am working on something and sharing it with all you goofballs out there. So I suppose I should stop rambling about it and just actually do it, huh? Actually get some work in here. So we're still working on the same region. Obviously, that's the whole point of what we're doing. We're making a campaign from absolute nothing to finished project on the stream is sort of what the goal is. Very, very long term. This isn't something that'll be done in a day, a week, a month, maybe not even in a year. Like, it's something that I want to keep working on, because I think there's value in demonstrating for people, especially new incoming DMs, new players, people who are new to world building, new to homebrew, all that kind of stuff. I think there's value in sort of demonstrating exactly what all goes into making something. Hey, Taukert, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm honored. I appreciate that. Glad to have you here. But yeah, I think it's good for people to be able to sort of see what goes into it, because I know at least my players are very complimentary about sort of the stuff that I make, and they're so friendly about it, but they don't actually sort of have a concept for what goes into it. And I think that's true for a lot of people, that they just don't really see it. And so it kind of turns into this big, intimidating beast that people are afraid to sort of tackle as soon as they start. But the fact is it's just a matter about chipping away and working and making, writing down a few things every day, or every day that you work on it, and just slowly getting into it. It's not something that you should go into it expecting that, it'll be done in, a couple hours. It's just, you can prep a session in a couple hours, no doubt. But a full-blown campaign, unless your campaign style is to sort of have just a general idea about things and then sort of wing it as you go, then by all means do it that way. But I can't function that way. I'm too neurotic to be comfortable with that. So I have to plan everything out. But at any rate, that's kind of what the goal here is. And so I suppose for the second time, I should just do it. I should just do it. Hey there, Taukert. How's it going? Glad you're here. Like I say, I appreciate that follow, and I appreciate that you're here. Hopefully today's session here will offer some value to you. We left off last time working on our random tables. It's, for me, I consider it an essential part of a campaign to have random encounter tables to dip into when players are traveling. It tends to be, I've noticed with players, travel tends to be something that they consider tedious, and so but I don't like just like fast traveling everywhere, because I feel like it sort of takes away this from the sense of grandeur that players enjoy having with their campaigns. Players like to feel like they're having big impacts on big worlds, and so if we add in random tables, hi Kitty, you're gonna come get in the way and sort of just be ever present. That's what she does. You can see her tail there. Kitty says hi everybody. But yeah, I consider random tables an essential part of it, because they are what adds interesting stuff to the not interesting parts of a campaign. Oh, are we gonna cuddle now? Okay. Alright, yes, you can climb in the lap. That's a good spot for you. It's more functional than standing right in front of the monitor. I do appreciate that. Oh, gotcha. You're prepping your own campaign. Heck yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. If you're a DM, then it goes both ways. If you're listening to me and you've got ideas and stuff like that, then fucking blurt them out, man. I love that. That's like my favorite part about streaming this process, is the fact that it always ends up being sort of a collaborative effort where people are sharing ideas and stuff. Hey, Omega, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Omega 43656. I'm just gonna call you Omega. I hope that's not rude, but I'm not saying those numbers every time. But thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you're here. But yeah, I love that these streams sort of turn into a collaborative thought sharing process, because it's great. Like, you guys have great ideas, but my favorite part about it is that ultimately I can tell y'all to fuck off because it's my campaign. I'll do what I want. I'm kidding. That's pretty aggressive, but you get what I'm saying. It's fun to share ideas. It's fun to share ideas and to take the ones that to share the ones that work. But then also, only use the stuff that are important for your own campaign. Because some of the stuff I go over here are going to be absolutely useless for other people's campaigns. Hey, Revelator, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Glad you're here. But yeah, no, it's fun stuff. It's a good time. And I love that I have the freedom and ability to do this in my day with my time. It's good stuff. Kitty, you are just so affectionate today. How many players is the table geared towards? So when I'm designing a campaign, I always so the way I do it with mine, we got some new people here. Okay, now you guys are in for it, because now that we got some new people here, I'm going to show you my world, and we're gonna get real geeky with it here. My world here. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. This is my world. This is my whole giant world. And I have all kinds of different campaigns that are in various levels of completion in terms of writing, because I just love making stuff, and I love filling in ideas where they fit in this world. We are right now specifically working on this hex right here. We are making a campaign in this hex alone. And within this hex, I design my campaigns to encompass some range of 10 levels, and I always gear them towards a 5-player group. Because for me personally, when I'm DMing, I pretty heavily insist on the regular number of players being between 4 and 6. 6 is like the maximum of what I can handle, and 4 is about the minimum for having a balanced, manageable campaign. I mean, if every once in a while there's someone, an old friend is in town to guest star and we go over 6, that's fine. If people can't make it and we have 3 or 2 players, that's fine too. But as a baseline, that's what I do. So I always gear it towards 5, so that way it's a little challenging, a little extra challenging for 4 people, or a little on the easy side for 6 people. But it can balance itself out by them just moving at whatever pace they're ready for. So that's how I do it. And this particular campaign that we're working on is meant for levels 1 through 10. It's an opening campaign is what we're kind of gonna end up working on here. Let's see here. Okay, what do you got for me, Tauker? I think this campaign is gonna be more like one-shots and small missions. That's fair. I've run campaigns like that where it is just sort of much more modular in its approach, and I do that. I use that a lot more now as an adult than I ever did sort of in the past. Just because as people get busy, it's harder to convince people to regularly commit time to a group activity. And I try to not take that personally because people get busy, although I always wonder, it's like, why can't we devote like once a month time to friends? But I'll get off of that rant stool there and just say I totally get it. Like random tables, It really does depend on the campaign. I am right now DMing 2 campaigns that are much more cohesive, and so I keep the downtimes, the sort of in between stuff ready to go with these random tables and everything like that. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm proud of how this map turned out. Honestly, it's gone through many iterations. This world of mine, I've been working on the same world for the better part of a decade at this point in time. Just because it's easier for me to conceptualize different ideas if I plop them in the same world. But yeah, I really like this. I really like this map. I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I can't speak praise enough to the program Wonderdraft for it. If you're interested in map making, Wonderdraft is an excellent tool. I highly recommend it. Yeah, definitely, Tauker. You know, if you have something to contribute, by all means, spew it out there. I will be paying attention to the chat. Or if you're just gonna listen for some background noise, hey, I'm flattered by that too. I take that as a compliment. I like to imagine that I'm like the D&D version of Bob Ross when people do that. It's like, you know, some people just like to have something going on in the background, and if I'm more interesting than annoying for you in that front, then by God, that is an accomplishment as far as I'm concerned. But at any rate, that's kind of what we're working on. This is our world, and so I'm gonna pull up. I can pull up the beans. It's gonna make me take the long way of finding it. World Atlas here. We need this map open. This is the regional map for the one we're working on, and it's pretty sparse right now. When you say something to contribute, does it have to be any good? I mean, if you want me to not make fun of you, then it would probably be better for it to be good. No, I mean, seriously, like, I prefer on topic, but other than that, like, freaking, you know, add whatever you want. If it's stupid, I'll ignore it. I don't know. Like, it's pretty easy to regulate. I'm the one in charge here, you know, and it's not to sound too big for my own britches here, but I mean, yeah, contribute whatever you want. Bobicus, that is a bitchin' name. I like that. Strixhaven subclasses. It's familiar, but I do not have a clear enough recollection in my head of what Strixhavens are to offer up a good opinion on it. I'll have to check those out again at some point in time. I mean, there's a very good chance I've come across them because I'm always looking up different things and reading different books and different types of materials for D&D because I mean, if you can't tell by the maps, I'm kind of obsessed with it. So, but no, I can't offer an opinion right now, unfortunately. They're power creepy but not broken. Sure, yeah, I don't know. I'll take your guys' word for it. You guys can have a much more intelligent conversation than I can on it. That's for sure. At any rate, this is the region. This is sort of a more zoomed in segment of that hex. You can see we got some rivers. This whole area is plains. If we go back to our world map, you can see that's the Goldenwind Plains over there. And so I'm breaking up. I want to have 3 total sets of random tables. It's going to be 6 random tables overall because I always do a day and a nighttime random table because it's different. You know, the types of things you can encounter are going to be very different. The ratios of what you'll encounter are different. And a lot of that is also based on whether or not players are moving or stationary. But I'm going to have 3 sets of day and night tables. We're going to have our plains, we're going to have our mountains, and we're going to have our forest. Because obviously in the plains you might find things like lions and hyenas, but probably not so much in the mountains. So it would be really weird, you know. In the mountains you're probably going to run into a lot of Duergar and stuff like that. Probably unlikely to find a Duergar in a place called the Goldenwind Plains, you know, a place that's known for its beautiful sunlight that is present in most days of the year. You know, so I like to have the 3 random tables, and it's kind of a tedious process going through all of this stuff and prepping it, but it's something that always ends up paying off in the end. It pays big dividends to have this stuff prepped and ready to go, because then you're not sitting there doing the the kitty tail. Enjoy that. The moments of players want to do something and you're just not prepared for it, or you're trying to think of something off the cuff. If you've got that off the cuff thinking done and prepared, then it just, as a DM, I find it just makes everything go so much smoother, so much smoother. That doesn't mean that I can't improvise when the situation calls for it, but if I can sort of, I don't want to say predict, but rather if I can, set up contingencies for whatever my players decide they want to do, then it just is so much smoother. I just have to click on a page and pull it up. With random tables, it's a roll of dice, and it's good to go. But at any rate, so this table, the gist of how it goes, these tables are all roll a d20, and what I always do is I always have players, like, it can be kind of fun too, or I'll tell players, I'll pick a random player and I'll say, okay, you're rolling the d20, what to see what's happening today, and then depending on the circumstance of it, I'll make it their fault, whatever thing they encounter, and that can add some fun to the whole situation. But it's all roll a d20, and it's all based on what the average level of the party is. My parties are consistent players, so they're always the same level. They always go through the same things. Even if someone misses, we have someone sort of like put them on autopilot and just run them through the motions. So it's pretty simple on that front, but I always say the average level, so that way this can be used by other people. Because that's part of this project that I'm doing here. I do intend to, I gotta look it up. I didn't really know if anyone would be interested in this when I first started streaming a couple months ago, and then this project a couple weeks ago. But people have expressed interest, so I'm going to find a way to put together a shareable version of this campaign once it starts, having more girth to it. Right now, it's still in the very opening stages. So I'm trying to design this one in a way that can be used by a lot of, like, any composition of group, any style of DM. It's a very sandboxy type of environment, and I'm trying to keep things designed in such a way so that you can keep the mechanics, change the story, change some of the mechanics, and keep all the story stuff. Like, I'm trying to make it so that this can be utilized and heavily edited by anyone who wants it. So I'm trying to produce that, and that's why I say the average level, because some groups will let their players be varying levels and stuff, and if that's what you do, that's great. So I just have it be the average level, so that way I know when I'm balancing the combat and stuff like that, it's probably something that they can handle, most likely. I'm not gonna. I make no promises. I always tell I tell my groups, I make no promises that you will all survive any given situation, because luck will screw with you. And also, you will make poor decisions from time to time, sometimes intentionally, for the sake of good roleplay. And I'm always like, hey, if that's your jam, then fucking do it. But I don't know. I'm rambling a lot about it, but I don't know. The point of this project is also to have things be sort of explained. So, like I say, if there's new DMs that stumble across this and are interested, I'm offering, something of value, because I feel like there's countless numbers of resources and articles that sort of go into it without, like offer up a table or offer up a subclass or something like that without actually explaining the process to get there. And that as someone who has gone through the process of being a new DM and now being an experienced DM, that can be tough. Like, it can be really tough to really understand the mechanics behind it, where these ideas come from, and it can make it it doesn't help the task of entering the world of homebrew to be any less daunting when that's the situation. So, with that, one final plug too. I've got all of my writing streams. I've got the VODs up on my YouTube channel, so if you ever want to go back and see some other stuff I've worked on, by all means go back there. It's not indexed well at all, so it's just kind of a crapshoot about what it is, because I'm garbage at photo editing and video editing and uploading and stuff like that. But it exists, and you can enjoy it. It's all yours to enjoy. So what I'm doing with this table, like I say, it's D20s. It's roll a D20 based on the average player level. And I use these ratios to determine what kind of needs to be put in place. 50% of the encounters will be, or 50% of the rolls will result in some sort of monster encounter. The world that I'm making, my homebrew world, is a very dangerous one. It is, the world is chock full of all kinds of nasties and baddies and stuff like that. It's a post-calamity world where there are it very I liken it a lot to, if anyone's familiar with the anime Attack on Titan, where it's like there are guarded, protected cities that exist in there, but then the wilds outside of it are very dangerous, and it's just sort of understood: enter the wilds at your own peril. Anyone who goes out there, it's your own fault if you die. That's just sort of the way of the world. And so it's very, very likely there's a 50% chance during the day and during the night that players will encounter monsters. 20% chance that there's no encounter. Four of the 20 potential rolls will result in nothing happening. It'll just be a boring day of travel. There's 2 out of 10 chance they'll encounter friendly NPCs, which, as we make further progress in prepping this, once we have missions and side missions organized, a lot of times I'll use that as an opportunity to introduce a side quest, just randomly have it show up, because all of my quests will start at being accessible to the lowest level of whatever it is, in this case level 1, and they will terminate at different levels. So it's like anyone can start any mission at level 1, but they won't be able to have an easy time beating the big bad until they're all level 10 or whatever, is sort of the idea behind it. So I'll use that as an opportunity to introduce a lot of side missions and NPCs that way. Or if it just doesn't really work out that there's an NPC, then usually I'll default to they encounter some sort of person who was lost in the wilds and is desperate for rescue, and so then they have to decide, like, okay, do we carry them with us to our goal? Do we divert back to the city? What do we do with that? And it sort of gives them that sort of challenge of trying to decide how morally bankrupt they're willing to be in any situation. 10% strange magical happening. It's post-calamity world. The calamity that happened, I call it the unhinging. Long story short, all of the different planes of existence got all kinds of mixed up. Just like someone took a blender to it and just messed everything up. So there's all kinds of tears in reality, and there's all kinds of different types of magic, elemental, ethereal, what have you, that just sort of float around the world, almost like a magical version of nuclear radiation. And so there's always a chance that just something really weird is going to happen, which is really fun. A lot of times, like sometimes I'll actually, if I've used up the pre-planned ideas, I'll default to to just rolling on the wild magic table and just see what happens and make up some way for nature to do that to the players. It's fun stuff. It's really fun stuff. It's a good role-playing exercise. It's a good yes and exercise. 5% chance, there's a 1 in 20 chance that players will have a vision. What that means, I run my campaigns, and this is a way also that sort of helps them be usable by just about any group composition. The way I run my groups is there is the story mission that's happening, but then if players want their characters to go through more personalized character growth type of missions, and those types of journeys and arcs, because some people are super into the whole, critical role, character-focused things, and other people are just there to smash and grab. And so to sort of accompany that without forcing anything, I have players give me a deity. And if they have like a strong bond with their deity, then they'll have a vision from that deity at night. If they're not into it, then it usually ends up being some sort of vision of a clue about their mission or something like that. But I utilize that type of thing and just sort of hand wave it as being it's magical happening in this world. Weird shit happens. But it's just sort of a convenience tool for me to possibly offer them, a little nudge in the right direction, things like that. And then a 5% chance of randomly coming across treasure. The world was abandoned rapidly when the unhinging happened. A lot of people left behind a lot of stuff, and my players, they in both campaigns, they love finding cool shit. So I will just give them the chance to randomly find cool shit, and it ends up being pretty good for most of them. They end up really liking that. So I'm like, all right, you fucking kleptos, whatever. So that's the ratio. That's what these tables are. And we're about halfway through just coming up with the monster encounters. The way I do this, I just use Kobold Fight Club, and I just let the math kind of handle it for me. It's quick, it's easy. I don't have to reinvent the wheel this way. It's pretty simple, and all I do is I'll set it to, so in this one we're working with grasslands, with like the plains and stuff, so we'll do grasslands, and I will just I do 4 easy combats, make sure my hand's actually on screen, 4 easy combats, 3 medium combats, 2 difficults, and 1 deadly. Is just the random chance that they can find, just so that way it's like, sometimes they might accidentally roll into something that they're just like really not prepared for, so they have to decide if it's time to run away and stuff like that. So I just do, we'll just do random easy, look at that grassland, 5 players, level 6, right up here, because that's where we left off, and then I just look at what it spits out at me. Tigers, not really exactly the environment. Like, I'm thinking more of a Serengeti with lions and stuff, so we're not going to worry about that. Scarecrow is a potential good enemy in case they find, if they come across an old abandoned farm or something like that. So that one's a good one. Crushing Wave Priest, no. Sometimes I will have a lot of humanoids roaming around in case part of the story arc is that there is, a cult that has a lot of activity out in the wilds or something like that. I'll use that in some stories. That's not the direction I'm intending to have at least the plains go, so we're avoiding humanoids. So we're going to stick with the scarecrows. I always try for these random tables, for these random daily travel encounters and stuff like that, I always like to stick with just one type of enemy. It's just easier. It's not exceptionally interesting, but these aren't meant to be the really interesting thematic battles. These are meant to be fillers, ways to make to show the players how dangerous the world is, ways for them to get experience points if they're trying to achieve that kind of stuff. So these don't need to be extremely detailed, thought out things. They just have to be thematic ways to offer them something to do. So we're going to go, and I always keep it the bare minimum to reach whatever the difficulty setting I'm looking for is. So we've got 4 scarecrows are an easy battle. So we'll just go in here. 4 scarecrow. Boom. Simple as that. And then we move on. So we've got 1 of our 4 of those that we needed to do. So now we'll just do a random easy. Giant eagles and giant goats, both appropriate. Giant goats are funnier. Frankly, seeing my players get ram-horned by a giant goat sounds absolutely hilarious to me. So we're going to go ahead and do a pack of 7 giant goats that are just out there in the wilds. And granted, too, the other thing that's worth noting, just because I'm designing monster encounters and potential combat encounters doesn't mean it's guaranteed that my players will have to enter combat when they encounter these things. The way I usually do it, especially during the day, is you guys see, I'll have them do like a perception check. Then they roll the 20, and if they come up with the monsters, we'll say, okay, off in the distance, you see this, that, or the other thing. How do you guys approach it? And so I've had my players attempt to tame a camel before. It did not go well, but they tried it. So if they try to do something other than combat, I will absolutely yes-and the shit out of that and let them do what they want to do. I love that. I love rewarding creativity for my players. It's one of my favorite things. So just that caveat, it doesn't have to be a battle, which is why I'm not afraid to just have like random ass critters that you wouldn't think of as being like something that would assault a group of travelers on the road. Looking at these, Orc, Spy, and Feathergale Knight, none of these are really fitting the aesthetic, so we'll just click it again. It's the Tanaruk. So there's a lot of stuff, and I work on a lot of things, and I do not have every monster in the handbook memorized. Tanaruk. So we're going to look up a Tanaruk and remember what this looks like. Oh yeah, it's these big assholes. The Tanaruks aren't out of the question for this area, but honestly it's really not the aesthetic that I'm looking for. Looking at them actually, so what I want to think is, where does it show all the environments you might see them in? Hill, mountain, and underdark. So the Kobold Fight Club is including them because of that hill one there, but I would be much more likely to add these guys into the mountain range that is on the same map. So when we get there, these guys might still make an appearance in this campaign, but probably not out here. So we're going to do another random easy. Brontosaurus. I had this debate with myself. So for me, when I'm thinking aesthetics, if we're going dinosaurs, we're going full on Jurassic fucking Park. Like everything is dinosaurs, all dinosaurs everywhere. So I usually do dinosaurs all or nothing, and I've already kind of made the decision, no dinosaurs in this one. I want this one to be a bit more traditional D&D. So we're sticking with doing like fairy dragons and young dragons and stuff like that if we're going with the giant lizardy looking things. So Brontosaurus is out. Do it again. So now we got a copper dragon wormling. That might show up there, but I've used them before in this random table, and I'm going to use them again. The concept of giant vultures and vultures in general makes me laugh because it implies that the vultures have pegged my travelers and are just circling overhead like, oh, these fuckers are going to die. These guys are dead. Just give it time. So I always add giant vultures. Giant vulture? Vulture. One more easy. Giant eagle, fairy dragon, yellow fairy dragons. We'll go with the fairy dragons here. So what I'm leaning towards for a campaign is including something. So what we know about this campaign here, if we look at our big world here, our overworld, we'll zoom in a little bit. We can see that we have a city up here and a city down here. But because of the dangers of the world, the only way to travel to them is to go around here, city, down here, travel along here, hit this city, and then hit that city, right? Going from Fossavik down to Muffafetting. And that's just because it's been dangerous to travel through here because of the nature of how the wilds disrupts everything. So the way we're designing, what we're kind of our rough story arc that we've come up with for why players would exist out here in the middle of nowhere is that there is currently an ongoing project to try and slowly map out a safe trade route that like an armed convoy could easily make it through and just go directly from Fossavik down to Muffafetting, saving multiple days of travel for trade convoys, which is important for a lot of these cities. So that's sort of the idea here, and sort of the rough concept. We haven't outlined it exactly, beat by beat how it's going to go down, but the rough idea is that this sort of effort being made is running into a kind of literal roadblock of there being a dragon that lives in this area that is upset about the sort of enlightened humanoids disrupting the relative peace that he has established for him or her and their brood. I haven't decided if it's going to be a couple, a dragon couple, or a single father or a single mother. I haven't decided that yet. Point is, dragon doesn't want the road to continue, and it's causing problems. So it's going to generally be up to the players to try and say, okay, we got to find a solution to this. And dragons are intelligent enough. It can be about whether they strike a deal, whether they just go on full on kill it, whatever they want to do. But that's kind of where we're leaning, and that's why there's going to be like the fairy dragons around, because this adult dragon has said, has sort of made a home in this region, and it's like I have in mind that like, maybe they can cut a deal with the dragon, because the dragon will say like, yeah, I've been also running into issues with the Duergar and their stuff over in the mountains. If you can stop them, then I will let you make this pathway, or something like that. That'll all get ironed out as we go. It's all kind of a slow-moving, step-by-step process, but that's why, at least within the lore of my world, it justifies having a whole lot of these like fairy dragons running around. So we've got 4 of these, and because it's the CR1, I know it's going to be what I've got here, the younger version of them, and we've already established there are going to be young yellow ones around. So for fairy dragon, young, and then yellow. So within like the monster manual and stuff, it really only distincts between young and older for the fairy dragons, but if you add the color, it just makes it more thematic. It doesn't change the stats at all, but makes it more thematic, more fun that way. And yellow just aesthetically matches the Golden Wind Plains, almost like they have sort of evolved and adapted to surviving in the rolling plains of this area. So yeah, so we got that. So there's our 4. We have our 4 easies. So let's get some mediums going here. We want 3 of these. Lizard Folk Shaman, not quite. Winter Wolf. I could use the Winter Wolves and just reskin them, but in this region I don't really have wolves. We've got like coyotes going on, but I'm not sticking with either of those. Hobgoblin, Howling Hatred Priest, those are humanoids. We're not interested in those. Kobold Dragon Shield. I use kobolds as sort of one of the enlightened races that exist in the guarded cities. I like using basically the way I do my lore, just because I think it's more fun for players and gives them more options, is within the guarded cities they can be any of the Adventure League approved races, which includes kobolds, and so those races tend to be the enlightened ones that live within the cities and don't just have like random communities of marauders out in the world. I'm sorry, my nose itches. I tend to get allergy issues, and like I don't know if it's like the vibrations that the headset does when I'm talking, but for some reason my nose gets like really itchy when I'm having a bad allergy day. It gets really itchy on the surface, and so that's why you see me rubbing it all the time. It's not because of my crippling cocaine habit, but where was I? Fucking God! Now you're gonna think I am a druggie because I forgot what I was saying. Yes, the kobolds. There might be bands of marauders around there, but they're not going to be strictly kobolds and stuff like that, which is why I tend to avoid doing those unless there's just like cultists around, and then I'll just reskin them to just be generalized cultists. But either way, they're not there. Shadow Mastiff can work. That's not the worst one, just random dogs that run around. But I actually would prefer to find something a bit better. Ghouls and Darktide Knights, not quite. Copper Dragon Wormling, not a bad idea. But I think we can do better. Giant Strider, is that? Strider, those are like the ostrich looking things, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, we'll do Striders. Striders are good. I didn't think it would take 8. So 7 Striders. That's good. So we'll do that. Random medium. Nope, not feeling any of those. More fairy dragons. We've already got a whole lot of fairy dragons. Although we only have like the easy fairy dragons. We could do another one with difficult fairy dragons, or medium, which is just more fairy dragons. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do more of them. 7. Okay, yeah. Why not? Like, screw it, right? Like, we might as well. It's meant to be kind of a challenge for my players. 7X, fairy. I can't ever stop myself from saying fairy that way when it's spelled like that. The fairy, because they spell it like fey. I don't know. It's the fairy dragon. Young and yellow. Sounds like me when I was in elementary school and saw a scary movie. Young and yellow. You guys will soon recognize, like, I suck you in with promises of world building and D&D discussions, but you end up staying for the shitty dad jokes. It's inevitable. You might as well accept the reality. This is your life now. All right, we'll do some lions. Have I really actually included lions? I don't know if I've actually been using lions in this one. I've been sticking more with like the hyenas and stuff. Been avoiding the lions, mostly because, oh yeah, we have used lions. Okay, good. Because I tend to use lions pretty heavily in a lot of these grassland areas. They're very common, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, there's kind of a limit on like realistic animals that exist in the rule book, to offer a sense of familiarity and almost a sense of like belonging for my players, like whether or not they feel they actually belong in this world. And the other reason is because I love lions. I think they're fucking rad, and I love to have them in my campaigns. So screw me, So screw me, so sue me. You can screw me too. Whatever. I'm game for whatever. I don't know. I'm around. We can make a party out of it. But it's my world, and I can do what I want. Okay, 7 lions. Can you imagine 7 lions surrounding you? I would just lay down and let it happen at that point in time. I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother. I don't care how armed to the teeth I am. I could have all the magic in the world. If 7 lions were on me, I'd be like, fuck, you guys, you got me. Alright, make it quick. Here's the throat. Okay, we've gotten our 3 mediums, right? Yes, we have 3 mediums. So now we're going to do 2 hard encounters. That's what she said. Oh, we can do more fairy dragons. Oh, 9 fairy dragons? Why not? Why not? You know, we've already done so many of them. 9 fairy dragon. Young. I'm going to stick with the yellow. I actually kind of like the idea of just all of the dragons being yellow, and I might use like, I might have all of like the young ones be yellow, and then like the adult is a gold one. And so, like, I like that idea actually. The adult is a gold one. The young ones just haven't grown into their gold feathers. They're still they're gold scales. You know, they're still in their juvenile yellow or something like that. I don't know. I play pretty fast and loose with lore as written. I like to modify the lore to fit sort of the world in my fantasy a little bit more. Also because that makes it easier to avoid too heavy of a copyright issue if I decide I ever want to publish anything. If I make enough changes that it sounds original, then fuck, I can get away with that shit. He said, incriminating himself on camera for anyone to go back and find at a later date. Oh, we could do manticores at this. So getting on halfway through, I'm not afraid to do manticores. Sometimes manticores come up pretty quick, and it kind of bothers me when they're too present. Like when you encounter them too early. Like they're a low enough challenge rating that you can almost use them as a boss for like level 1s and 2s, for your players, and it's. I don't know, it's almost disappointing just because, like, the manticores, just sort of the lore and the aura around them is so powerful, and it's like, oh, fuck, like, I can just be some jackass with a wooden stick and probably take him down. It's like, it's pretty lame. But now that it's later on, I feel less disinclined to do that, so we'll, yes, and some reason for there to be 4 manticores that decide to just like try and eat the players while they're walking down a dusty road or something. I don't know. Like, fuck it, man. That's the beauty of D&D. It can be whatever the hell you want. Alright, now we're going to come up with a deadly one. Oh, fuck yeah, werebores. How many can we get away with? Yeah, that's not too far above. So it's important with the deadly ones to pay attention to the adjusted XP. The adjusted XP gives a good idea because, like, that's one of the reasons why I really like Kobold Fight Club, because it takes into account the concept of action economy, because you can have a creature that is, like, extremely easy for a group of players to handle, and adding 2 doesn't just make it twice as difficult, because it's not just that they do twice as much damage, double the damage and have double the health. Like, because of the action economy, they have a whole lot of other special skills and stuff they can do, and it just changes things. So it's more of an exponential increase the more enemies you have in there, because strictly getting in the number of attacks is important. It gives them more attack of opportunity, it gives them more opportunities to interrupt what players are doing and stuff like that. It just makes it much more difficult. Hey, Soviet Psycho. Oh God, that's an intimidating name. But hey, how's it going? Glad to see you here. That's an intimidating name. I like it though. I like it. But yeah, so when I'm using this tool and trying to find a deadly level encounter, I always pay attention to that because it's really easy. Because see, watch, we do one more and it jumps up quite a bit for the adjusted XP, and the adjusted XP is sort of a better barometer for whether players can handle that. Oh, good. That's kind of you. That's kind of you, helping your ma fix her car. That's something I would never be able to help my ma with because I don't know jack shit about cars. I know how to look at my car and say, the check engine light's on. I should take it to a mechanic. That's the extent of my knowledge there. But so no, that's cool. That's good of you. That's good of you. I'm sure your mother is. There you go. So okay, well, you know what? That makes it even sweeter. You psycho, is that you worked on learning it together. That's a nice thing to do with your mother. I'm a big mama's boy, so I'm always a huge fan of people who are doing cool stuff with their mom. Cattail. My cat has decided that she is now going to serve as a window. But thanks for asking. I'm doing well as well. I'm having a nice quiet day at work, which is a valuable thing to me. I do air quality inspections, so a busy or bad day at work is not a good thing for anyone. So At any rate, let's see here. We're gonna do uh, no. Hey, don't apologize, Soviet Psycho. I love an interactive audience. I think it's great fun. That's why I do it. If I wanted everyone to sit down and shut up, Cat, I cannot see past you at all. You are such a little turd. Um, but yeah, like a silent audience, like if I didn't want interaction, why would I stream it, right? No, I love the interaction. You type to your heart's content. Because as I told everyone else in the audience when we first started, if you are doing too much, then I'll just ignore you. I try not to do that though. I try not to do that. You can certainly run them by. I probably won't give you like detailed analyses of them, but if you've got just like a rough random idea, fuck yes, just shoot it out there. I might steal it for an NPC or something. I don't care. Cattail, hi kitty. I appreciate you moving out the way. Where boar? Yeah, you just snuggle up on your blanket. That's a good place for you. That's a much better place for you, kitten. My kitty is very needy, and she is always very present in my life, and I love it. But also, she gets in the way. Got a backstory for 2 characters. Man, look at you go. Wizard, necromancer, engineer background. Ooh, okay, all right. A grung wizard with an engineer background. I feel it. That's like definitely delving into the artificer realm too, which is I think artificers are super cool. So I dig that. Let's see here. So now, okay, so we've got our level 6 random stuff. Now we need to get our level 7s. So let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Want the backstory? Yeah, go ahead and spit it out there. Like I say, I don't know how detailed of an analysis I'll give on it, but I love sharing ideas, man. I'm all about it. Holy shit, you've got a backstory ready. God damn. Look at you go. I like to imagine that like you were just like sitting there furiously typing that shit as opposed to copying and pasting it from somewhere. That's a more entertaining idea. It's a more entertaining idea to me. You're not weird, Soviet Psycho. You're passionate. Okay, that's what you are. You know, you got to sell yourself. You know, don't sell yourself short. Sell yourself high. I don't know. Kitty, you're back in front of the monitor. We were doing so good with you moving away from it. It's awful. Yeah, that's my beverage. I'm drinking it. I don't know what you're staring at. This cat. I love her to bits, but goodness gracious, she's like right in front of the things I need to read. Okay, let's see. What do you got with your backstory here? Trying to twist remains failed experiment. Lost love. Oh no. So I was trying to bring them back. Trying to twist remains would be her brain. Is there still electrical energy flowing? Believes it to be her soul's essence in some certain. Oh, nice. I like that you have baked in there a character arc. Something for me as a DM, I would love players who give me that kind of stuff because it's like, okay, now I know ways to provide you interesting things to do like in downtime, and we know how to like approach your character's arc as well as just like the campaign story arc too. So I dig it. That's cool. Yeah, Dr. Frankenstein, Mr. Freeze. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Definitely the Frankenstein. I mean, that's like right there. But I don't consider that like cliche or anything like that. I steal most of what I write, so I am all about that. I think I think there's a reason we remember characters like that. It's because they're good and they're memorable. So hell yeah. What do we got? We got 5 giant hyenas. I like that for my players. And hyenas. Always makes me wonder, just how giant are we talking though? Like, are we talking like this tall or like this tall? Is it a good character concept? I would say so. I think a good character concept, the way I describe character concepts, we've had this conversation on my stream in the past. An important part of a character concept is to give them a goal. Don't give them a quirk, give them a goal. A lot of players will give, especially if they're new to character creation, they'll give their characters a quirk. They'll say like, my guy, he's obsessed with money. He's just always trying to get money. There's a quirk. That's not really a goal. You can kind of say his goal is to have like, the most money in the world, but there's not really an end game to that, as we've learned by like real life counterparts, like such as like Bezos and Musk. Like, that's just something that keeps going, and it just kind of makes them irritating. If you give them a goal, if you give them something to actually like strive for, it actually informs their behavior, and it stops them from just being a meme. Like if people just focus too heavily on a quirk, then you end up with a character that tends to be just like in the way for the sake of being in the way. Like they turn into like, using that, oh, my character just loves money type of thing. There's no goal there. So really what it turns into is they just always say the same thing. Right, you guys are talking with an NPC, and all they ever say is, "So what do we get paid for it?" And it's just like, it turns into something for the whole table to be like, "Oh God." It doesn't mean you can't incorporate those types of things, but it'll end up being very dissatisfying for a character and for a player if that's all the interaction they can do. So the fact that you've got like an actual backstory and an actual goal, they're trying to revive a lost love or something like that. That's a really good character concept, and that gives the DM something to play off of, and it makes it so that they can be more subtle in what they do. They can choose their actions based on, will it help me achieve my goal, right? And so it's a much more complex set of yes, no, right, wrong type of stuff. So I would say that is a good character concept, absolutely. Ask about the grunts, poisonous skin, working with the spell, shocking grasp. They get would that work in unison? I'd have to read the details about it to figure out exactly how it would work. I, as a DM, tend to try and do the concept of yes and I would say unless it explicitly says no, if it requires touch, then yes, I would say it would, and that's definitely something to take advantage of, especially because that would require you, especially as a grung, because they're pretty small, putting yourself in pretty significant danger to be there in melee range. That way it would be very easy for you to get grappled back, and depending on the enemy, that could put you at a big risk. So I would be okay with it as a first reaction. But it's also something that I would, if one of my players brought that to me and I wasn't prepared for it, I would probably end up saying, yeah, we'll allow it for today, but I'm going to review it and we'll revise how we handle it in the future if we need to. And I would kind of give myself that out. But for the sake of a campaign, I would probably let it. Doesn't specifically say no, and the spell requires touch, but states the electrical energy flowing from the character. Yeah. If it's if it requires touch, and it doesn't say no that it doesn't stack with other things, then yeah, I think that's fair game. I see no reason why it wouldn't be. Absolutely. Because the other thing too is, if I, as the DM, were presenting a challenge to you guys as players, fuck yeah, I would do that to you. Fuck yeah, I would absolutely burn your ass with that. So it's only fair that you do it back to the monsters and the NPCs and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's good. I think you got a green light there. That's what I would say. I would say you definitely got a green light on that. Ooh, fucking yeah, giant spiders. I love giant spiders. I let giant spiders be anywhere in my worlds, because like spiders are fucking everywhere, and I love the idea of there just like being spiders that like exist in the world that, because of all the magical radiation in my world, just like are big and they don't realize it. So they're just doing their spider thing going around. I think that's great shit. Let's see here. Minotaur Druid with a noble background. I already love the idea of a Minotaur with a noble background. I'm going to betray the fact that I am like a young child, quite possibly a little girl, for this, but I've been watching the Netflix reboot of She-Ra, and the noble Minotaur immediately makes me think of Scorpia. Like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So I immediately love that. Minotaur's bloodline serves as great warriors and rose to power in their culture. The character is more in tune with nature, would often leave the luxuries of home to explore the wild forests. Friends with Furbolg, that helped lead to become a druid. Oh my god, I immediately love that. And that's the type of character. I love those types of characters that shirk societal expectations. I think those are definitely compelling characters. And it's a really good, like, it's kind of cliched, but it's a really good way to incorporate an odd race into a campaign where it's like, it's the same effect of Drizzt in so many of the like the Icewind Dale books and stuff like that, where it's like he's the drow, but like he's weird because he doesn't like just killing people and eating babies or whatever the fuck they do. So it's like it's a very common trope, but I think the reason it's common is because it's compelling and it's good. Because the other thing is, it's really easy for a reader or a player to get on board with that, because we all like to imagine that we have the strength in ourselves to abandon whatever society expects of us to do what we feel is right in our hearts, right? Everyone strives to be that way in their own way. So creating a character that does that is something that's really easy for us to get in the head of And I think that's a good thing because it makes it easy for us to play them in a compelling way. So I think you've got a solid foundation there. The one thing I would say is missing in that one compared to the other one is you don't have a baked-in goal. You would still need to develop a goal for that player. So you've got a personality there, but that doesn't really explain why your character might be with a group. It doesn't really explain why they wouldn't just like leave if things were getting bad. But that can be campaign specific. So that's the only thing I would say to add to that is add some sort of goal or mission. So it's like, because it sounds like the Minotaur has already become a druid. So then what are they going to do with those powers? Like, why did they want to become a druid, right? So it's like you can keep moving forward from that. And I think you'd be golden with that. So hey, Bandit King. Yes, we are doing encounters. We're working on a random encounters table for the sort of new campaign we started a couple weeks ago. And we're also talking about cool other D&D shit as we do, which is why I love these streams. I fucking love having conversations about D&D. It's great. And like it's great about this too because none of my players watch what I'm doing, so I can talk all kinds of D&D shit. Like those suckers are all stuck at work. They don't work from home. so those losers are stuck at home. They can't watch me stream, which is I actually prefer that because then they can't hear all of my DM secrets. Let's see here. Gonna see about part member being for a bowl. Okay, yeah, have another party member. Nature of the world. So you're getting there with the nature of the world, but even that, there's no end goal to that. There's no end game. And the thing that we do know about D&D campaigns is they will always come to an end. A D&D game will always reach an end. You will always eventually beat the big bad. Your characters will always reach level 20. In some way, shape, or form, it'll always end. So just so build a little bit more on top of that, and give them like a sort of end game. And it can even be something that you achieve before the end of the campaign, and then it's just like in the process you become so attached to what else you're doing that the players are on board with that, or that your character would stick around with them and stuff like that. But I do think you're really close. Like, let me just make sure that's perfectly clear. You don't have anything bad. I think what you have is really good. I just think you're capable of more. I think you can do even better. And why shouldn't we strive to be better? I always strive to be better. I don't always succeed at being better, but I strive to be better. So I would say that one's a very good, like 80% there. I would just add a little bit more there. I do like the idea of another player being the Furbolg that she's become attached to. I think that can be fun. That's a really good way to sort of to introduce early on some interesting, meaningful player character interactions and stuff like that. Is if you have a couple of them that already know each other. I think that can really help in terms of why are we adventuring together. Because I think it can probably be said that if it weren't for the game mechanics that everyone sort of inherently buys into for a D&D campaign, it would make no goddamn sense for most of the players to keep, or most of the player characters to keep doing what they're doing. Because like you almost die daily. Like, why would anyone choose to do that? What? Because some guy has like a treasure and he's gonna control like the mountain peak or something? Like, fuck off. Like, let someone else handle that. Let the military handle that. I'm gonna go home. Right? So it's like there's already sort of that suspension of realistic beliefs and things. But the more of a reason to stick around you can give your players, the better. Just because, like I say, it makes it really compelling. It doesn't necessarily have to be realistic, but it makes it compelling, right? Because I know when I'm critiquing a movie or a show or something or a book, if I don't have a reason to believe that the character would choose to keep doing what they're doing, I immediately get really annoyed. Like, when I'm reading, I'm like, why are they here? Why are they still doing this? Why would they care? But yeah, just do more prep in this way, Bandit King. Hey, I will advocate that everyone should always do more prep, always. It's not necessary. That's one thing I should also definitely make clear when I'm doing these. It's not necessary to do as much work as I do. But I find that the more work I do when I have time to pause and think about things, the easier it is. The easier it is to have things go smoothly. Prep mentally without notes, and so it's not that you're bad at it. It's that you prefer to improv. You got to sell yourself. No, I feel you. I feel you. And I actually have had plenty of times when that's been my prep session, my prep style, and that's what always drives me back to doing my prep this way. Um, yeah, is I like to it just whenever I try to wing it, from a creativity standpoint, it ends up being fine. I just waste a lot more time during sessions. Like I always have to do a lot more of the give me 5 minutes, guys. I have to do a lot more of that kind of stuff, and I don't like doing that to my players. I prefer to just like always be on the ball, so that way I can move at whatever pace my players want to move at. You know, if they're ready to keep going, great. But then we break when they want to break. You know, I always view it as like my responsibility to provide the game and let the game go at whatever pace is comfortable for the group. So that's why I do it. But I think everyone sort of has their own approach to things. So, you know, you got to find what works for you. But if you're realizing that having more prep would be helpful for you, then fuck yeah, do it, man. Do it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I will always support that. How many giant spiders? This shit's boring. Wait, hold up. How many do we have here? Yeah, we need one more easy one. Yeah, we need one more easy. Griffins? Griffins would be fun. Oh, I like the Jackalwares, though. We already have the Jackalwares around. I like the idea of the Jackalwares. Let's see here. Okay, what do you got, Psycho? 3 other characters, they don't have backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, you know, the background is always the tricky part, because when it just, like, comes to mechanics, like, there's a million cool combinations there. It's the one regret I have being the Forever DM is just there are so many cool character ideas that I would love to explore, but it's too much work to make actual, like, character style NPCs, because I've thought about doing it that way. It's like, well, why don't I just design my NPCs to be character style so I can explore all those things? Unless you're just doing the big bad, it is way too much work to do that. It's way too much work to do that for all of them, and it just doesn't end up being balanced, and that's the one bummer that I always have. It's the one bummer that I always feel. Bugbear Bard, oh man, I'm on a different I'm on a different mindset than your friend there. I think that's hilarious. I love that idea. A singing bugbear? Are you kidding me? That's great. He seems like he would be he would be a good fit for the concept of the barbarian, multi-class between bard and barbarian, and they just play heavy metal. Like that's that's what I would immediately think. Seduced a beholder. Well, that sounds like it's on him for not having a beholder with stronger personal fortitude. Let's see. It's weird because work wants you to write guidebooks and other stuff for the world so other people can use it if they want. That's why I started this project and why I started a new part of the world there, Bandit King. I wanted to make something that I could, once it gets at least further along, I can start sharing it with people, so that if there are people who want to have a good homebrew and want to have, like a sandboxy type of campaign, and they're not compelled with anything else, they can take what I provided and change it to whatever fits their fancy. I start to make NPCs interesting, make them fully fledged characters. So I do that with personality. I definitely do that with personality. I always give or at the very least, like the meaningful bosses and stuff. Like all of these guys, they're just fodder. I don't care about them. All the minions, they can fuck off. But the NPCs, I try to do that for their personality and their background. But I don't do that. I don't make full-blown character sheets and stuff like that for them. It's too much work. It's too much work, and there are too many cool bosses that already exist. Too many really good, challenging enemies that exist within the lore. Or even, if we were on D&D Beyond, you can go to the homebrew stuff where people have shared all their homebrew stuff. Like, there's just so many people that have already made so many cool things that, like, when I'm trying to create an environment, I don't want to reinvent the wheel on everything. So it's all about picking your battles too, because everyone's going to have their own specialties and their own preferences. So if that's something that you like to do, the last thing I'm going to do is try and tell you that you shouldn't do that. Like, if that's what you do and that's your style, then fucking lean into that shit. Lean into that shit, because that's what'll make your games unique and special. Like you're saying, I feel you. I think we're largely on the same page. I think we're largely on the same page there. Ooh, a noir world. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Is it like a D&D noir, or are you doing like Call of Cthulhu type of noir? I love the noir aesthetic. I think it's super fun. D&D noir. That's awesome, man. I dig that. That's I feel that. Okay, character concept. Satyr sorcerer. criminal background. Do they kidnap children? Because if so, you've just described Mr. Tumnus, and it's been done. No, I like that. I love the satyrs and I love the Leonins. Because I've already described how I fucking love lions. I think they're awesome. So the Leonins are like badass. It's like fucking yes, lion gods. Are you kidding me? That shit's badass. That shit's so awesome. I love that. I love that new stuff that they dropped recently. Overall idea is Mafia meets demons. I think that's awesome, man. I am all about that. What the fuck was I doing? Jackalwares. Jackalware. Warforged bard named Jukebox who lives in the bag of holding. I love that. I love that. Isn't there a Transformer that's like a boombox or something like that? Isn't it like Soundwave or whatever his name is? I forget. But I love that. Yeah. Oh man, Bandit King. I would love to purchase a book from you. I feel bad accepting free stuff when someone's worked so hard on it. Soundwave. Thank you. Yes. Soundwave's the guy. Mr. Tumnus doesn't have a draconic bloodline. Who fucking knows with Mr. Tumnus? He's a shady motherfucker. Who knows what's going on with that guy? I don't understand why he never got more of a comeuppance for the shit that he did. He tried to kidnap a child and sell it to some fucking ice queen, okay? Like, Mr. Tumnus gets what he gets. Like, I don't care what his redemption arc was. Fuck that guy. Sorry, I got a little heated there. I apologize. Giant scorpions aren't going to be quite right for this. That's more of a desert than what I'm going for. But we'll go with griffins. Griffins are badass. I think we're on the mediums now. 5 griffins. A flock of 5 griffins. Would griffins be a flock? I don't know. 5x griffon. He did that under the death. Threat of death. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put my foot down here. If your options... Hey, Soviet Psycho, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm honored. But... if someone said, you will either kidnap a child or I'll kill you, again, going with like who we all hope to be, I would hope that I would have the fortitude to be like, no, I'm not gonna become a child kidnapper so that, I can live with that guilt. I'd rather die, if we live in that world. Because if we're living in the world of Narnia where they don't even have TV, it's like, what the fuck are you living for anyway? You know what I mean? I know too much at this point in time. Yeah, catch you later, Soviet. I will do my very best to keep being my awesome self. I appreciate that, and that's a very kind thing for you to say. I appreciate that. I will probably be gone in an hour, but I stream daily, and I also stream video games regularly too. So you can always try and check out and see what else I'm up to at any given time. I love audienceship, no matter what I'm doing, when it is, even if you're just checking out the VODs. I always appreciate that. Can we agree that Edmund deserves to be frozen? Okay. I will grant you that. I will grant you that as a compromise. Let's compromise and say both Edmund and Mr. Tumnus are little bags of poop. Okay, let's just agree with that. Maybe that's our compromise that we can achieve there. They're both little jerks, and Narnia and the human world would both be better off without them. I think we can land on that. Who would win in a fight, the Peevenses or the Baudelaires? Baudelaires, for sure. Those kids, they survived so many kidnappings and death attempts. Are you kidding me? I would say they take the cake. Plus they've got a child that can bite through metal chains and shit. Fuck that, man. Just set Sunny on him and it'd be game over right there. What are you supposed to do with that? Who's gonna kick a baby? Outside of the world of South Park, who's gonna do that? Oh my god. Let's see here. Whites, giant constrictor snakes. Constrictor snakes aren't quite what I'm looking for here. Werewolves. I don't know. We're not going with the werewolves. And that's not a medium. Ettins, Triceratops. We're already avoiding those. Come on, give me something good. Displacer Beast isn't bad. Enwood would probably, if it meant he got Turkish Delight. No, Edmund's a little bitch. Edmund doesn't enter berserk mode for it. He ends betray my friends mode for Turkish Delight. The kid's weird. I don't know. Fucking give me something. I don't remember what a Shusuva is. Let's look that up. Let's see if they fit the aesthetic I'm looking for here. Shusuva. Give me that. No whammy, stop. Wolf looking thing. Oh, it's like a scorpion wolf. Look at that bastard. I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna try and remember it, and I'm gonna try and remember it and like flavor it as being like the African wild dogs and stuff, because that shit is much more aesthetic to what I'm looking for. Also, African wild dogs are badass. It's one of the coolest things in my life was when I was in Africa and we got to see some of those. Let's see. Lion Witch in the Wardrobe is an allegory for Bible anyway. I mean, it's just a poor man's Judas. Yeah, that's I like that. I like that reference or that description. Poor man's Judas. That's a decent one. He's somehow more unlikable. Yeah, because he's a whiny little bastard. At least Judas had conviction when he was killing Jesus. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, gosh. Okay, how many Shusavas is it going to take for this to be a medium battle? Just one of them. All right, we'll just give them one of them then. Used his tail as a flail. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think when you get like those types of crossovers, and the thing about it too, actually that really fits the aesthetic of my world really well, because in my world, with it being, you know, this post calamity, this post unhinging, where magic has caused all kinds of splicing and it's like magical radiation, and it's caused all kinds of weird warpings of things. So I actually like the idea that it's warped this into. It's like warped a lion or an African wild dog or a coyote or whatever, like a jackal, into being this like weird creature that's like somehow part magic, part not magic. I really dig it actually. So we're gonna go with it. I also like that it has a rampage mode. Whenever I hear rampage, I immediately think of Archer, and it makes me happy. 1x, 1x, Shusuva. Sounds like something Jabba would say on something. I don't know. Fuck it. That was a stupid joke. I apologize for it. Leave the constrictor steaks alone. I'm not doing them. I will not do it. Ooh, rhino. We'll do rhinos. I like rhinoceros. Rhinoceros? Did I just plural the plural? God, fuck, man. I need more sleep. Oh, my gosh. We need 5 rhinos. 5 rhinoceros. Let's see here. Hey, Failire. Of course I remember you. No, I do remember you. It's been a minute. But hey, welcome back. Glad to see you here. Fuck, I lost. You made me lose count. Was it 5? 5 rhinoceros. 5 rhinoceros. Is that how you spell it? Ceros. Is that how you spell it? Fuck, man. I'm so shit at spelling. Was that all of our mediums? Yeah, it was all of our mediums. Okay, so now we got to do some difficult ones. Yeah, Failire, you can share whatever you want, man. Share what you got. We've been discussing all kinds of cool stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna pull it up during this one, but if you're sharing it, I will take a look at it. I can take a look at it and I can let you know. Just because. I'm on a roll here, and I wanna get some shit going. If you want to give me the cliff notes of it in the comments, you can do that too. You can give me the cliff notes that way if you want. But I don't know if I'm gonna pull up other documents here just because I'm on a roll and I wanna get the rest of this stuff done. So I'm trying to at least be like still having the screen in like background, working on this stuff while I'm going here. Sword and Poison Snake. No, I don't want any of them. Griffin. Why not? We'll add some more Griffin potential here. Let's do that. I like the Griffins. That's the name of the local hockey team around here. Grand Rapids Griffins. Let's see here. Why is my mind going blank? I'm on the difficult. We need difficult. That's where my mind was like freezing up there. 7 will be a hard. 7 Griffins are hard. That's you know, we're just gonna leave that one alone. We're not gonna make the pun that was coming to mind on that one. 7 Griffon. 7 Griffon. Let's see. Our sorcerer subclass is built around the premise of you lie so much that your lies become the truth. Oh, that's interesting. I like that concept. That's an interesting concept. That would be a fun. I feel like that would be actually a really fun, like big bad. Like they've created their own little bubble of reality, where it's like whatever they say is the reality, and so the players have to find some way to catch him in his own lies or something to defeat him. I already like that idea. Having a hockey team here in the UK. Well, that's because the UK needs to get better. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. Because hockey's a fucking awesome sport. I love hockey. It's like the best thing ever. It's got goal shooting and fighting. Like, what else do you want? Oh my gosh. Okay. Homebrew class for roleplay. Share away. Share away. What do you got? What do you got? Okay, we want a random hard. Earth Elemental, not the worst. A Wyvern. Ooh, a Wyvern would be a good one. Kind of fits the theme. Well, you might not. Okay. I'll grant rugby is pretty badass too, but I take offense to the idea of we don't need sticks and ice. Who's talking about need? Why wouldn't you want that? It just makes it more dangerous. Like, duh. Get with it. Called the Influencer. Okay. All right. Intriguing title. Intriguing title. Okay, can we? Yeah, 2 wyverns. Yeah, let's do 2 wyverns. We'll make them yellow too. They're like a mutated version of the dragons or something like that. I don't know. And the dragon boss of the region just finds them endearing and keeps them around. 2x y wyvern? Is that how you spell it? Yeah. Sometimes I forget where the wyvern goes. Yellow. Let's make them yellow. It's not even a mechanics thing. There's no like distinct colors of wyverns. I don't believe. Or if there is, I'm not remembering it properly. But ultimately, who gives a shit? That's 2 hearts. Okay, so now we got to go on to the deadly. There's always the chance that they'll come across something that they're just not prepared for. Okay, let's see here. They can be a politician, a noble, a merchant, or a revolutionary. Oh Christ, V for Vendetta as a character. That's like the edgiest rogue you can imagine at that point in time. I like the concept though. I do like the concept. I think that's interesting. Let's see here. What other things we're gonna do here? We can do more wyverns, but I don't want to. Shadow Mastiff, Bargus, Razor Blast. What does a Razor Blast look like again? Razor Blast. The role playing in the role playing game. That almost like, oh yeah, Razor Blast. These guys. I don't want Razor Blast. I don't want that. Where am I? Right here. The role playing and role playing. That's almost like a painful amount of role playing you got going on there. Saber-toothed tiger. I like the idea of that just like being flavored to be like a badass fucking lion right there. And do it that way. So yeah, 8 saber-toothed tigers. That sounds pretty deadly. Yeah, if I saw 8 saber-toothed tigers coming towards me, I would assume that I was dead meat at that point in time. Tooth, Tigger. Oh my gosh, my stupid nose bothers me so much when it gets itchy like this. Because there's like nothing that I can do to stop it. I just have to like wait here, and eventually it'll stop on its own. It's the most irritating thing. It's like one of the few things about my body that I genuinely wish would go away. Most parts of my body, I accept my body, and I have a lot of body positivity. I work hard on that shit. But my goddamn nose can fuck right off. I'm not interested in that itchiness. It's not my jam. Okay, I see how they did it. I'm gonna just make sure I do it properly, so that way I don't assume I did something stupid, and I just type it in exactly as it is when I'm searching for it, and there we go. Okay, now on to the level 8s. Alright, level 8 encounters. Enemies-y. Cyclops, not quite. Orc, nope. Druid, Spy, nope. Stone Melder, nope. Swarm, Hobgoblin, Kobold. Stop with the humanoids. Give me something. What's the Neogi? I forget what the Neogi is. Neogi? Neogi. Oh god. Oh god, this thing already looks horrifying. Oh god. Oh my god. What a wretched creature. Look at that thing. Ugh. Does it have armor on? Ugh. I don't know, like giant termites or something? I don't know. I'm gonna remember that they're there and come back to them. I don't know that I want to commit to those being in my world at the moment. Giant striders, though, those are definitely already there. We've already established that. 6 giant striders. See, giant striders are fun ones too, because it's like players, if they wanted to try and tame them for mounts, they could, but that could really go south in very, very little time. Very little time at all. So I think that would be really funny. But let's see here. 6 giant striders. Alright, let's find another easy here. Nope. No. Ooh, Warhorse Skeleton. It's not exactly the aesthetic I was going for, but there would definitely be skeletons around, and that could just be like a one-off thing and an indication of the fact that there are still a lot of strange magical events that are happening, because there are definitely going to be horses in this region. So let's do it. How many would it take? How many would it take? 9? 9 warhorse skeletons. All right, yeah, we'll do it. Why not? Can you imagine 9 skeletons coming at you? Gosh, I should probably just lay off the can you imagine bits for humor, because the fact is that's true for anything in D&D. Like anything that comes up in D&D, if we're just sitting here, wow, can you imagine? It's like even the most simple things. Wow, can you imagine some peasant running up to me with a sword and trying to slice my head off? It's like, fucking no, I can't. Like, I live in the civilized world. Like, what a strange existence that would be. Because even back in medieval times, I don't think they really did that. Like, people didn't, like, the people usually at least had a reason for trying to behead one another. Nowadays, it's that, although actually, now that I think about it, nowadays it's probably even more likely, what with all the, like, the fucking meth and stuff that exists. People don't need a reason other than that they were bored and did some drugs. And then they'll take care of you that way. Was it 9? Yeah, it was 9 skeletons. 9 warhorse skeleton. Okay. Alright. 2 more easies. This place should be giant hyenas. Yes, I love the giant hyenas. We're in it. 6 giant hyenas. 6 giant hyenas. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get one more. One more here. Right, one more easy, I should say. A thug. No. No, basilisk isn't quite right. Sabertooth tiger. We already did the sabertooths for... Oh, no, we didn't do it for this one. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. I just try to make sure that when I'm doing my random things, when I'm filling those out, I don't have the exact same thing. Like, we can use the same monsters within the same level or within the same difficulty setting, but, like, never both the same level and difficulty. Does that make sense? So never 2 chances to have 4 sabertooths when you roll for an easy level 7 encounter or whatever it was, right? I just try to not do that, so that way it's like there's no, at least within context and composition, there are no 2 things that are exactly the same. Just because if they were the same, you better goddamn believe my players would notice that shit and give me shit for it. Although now that I'm looking at it, Sabertooth Tigers is going to be better for the hard ones because they have a higher challenge rating, and we're going to go with the giant vultures because, as I've described, I think it's funny that giant vultures would circle them just like depression. Like they fucking know. They know. Those guys, these idiots walking through the world right now, they're going to die. We know they're going to die. We're just going to sit here. We're going to be ready for it, and they're going to die, and it'll be tasty. And that's all there is to it. Giant vulture. Okay. On to our mediums. Random medium. Oh, give me my random medium. Giant scorpion griffins. We don't have griffins yet in the mediums. Let's do it. 5 griffins. 5. Oops, griffin. There we go. That's 1 medium. Try and get 2 medium. Black earth priest hurricane. Okay. Nilbog, not quite. Giant eagle, winter wolf. No, not quite. Nilbog, no. Oh. Burrow shark, Jesus Christ. That always just makes me think of the SNL bit. Land shark. Burrow shark, werewolf. No, not quite. Flind. Uncap werewolf. God damn it. Okay. Okay, yeah, we haven't had the fairy dragons pop up in as a chance in a while. Yeah, let's do it. 6 fairy dragons. X. Fairy dragon, young yellow, young Yeller, the prequel to Old Yeller. Fuck off. Let's see. The fuck off is to myself. Neogi Master. Ugh, not interested. No thanks. Yeth Hound might not be bad. What are these? Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Yeth Hound. Yeah, these guys, the fucking like wolf with a people face. Weird fucking shit. I don't know. I guess I'm not really feeling it for this. 3 Kreen wouldn't be bad. Have we used 3 Kreen in this thing yet? I don't think I have. No, I haven't. I guess I'm not going to. I don't know that I want to introduce 3 Kreen in there. Scarecrows? Oh, we talked about scarecrows. Those could be reasonable. Yeah, let's do it. So 6 scarecrows. Let's do it. Why not, right? Why not? Why not? 6. Oh wait, hold up. I did this wrong. These are supposed to be mediums. Ah, I fucked it up. Alright, 9. 9 scarecrows, and it should be the same with the fairy dragons. Jeez, look at me. Just not even paying attention to my own shit. This is my own world, and I can't even get it right. Golly. What an amateur. Who is this asshole? It's like he's just doing this for free without any professional experience. What a dick. Yeah, now we're on to the random hards, right? Let me make sure. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I did the griffins right now. Now I'm questioning myself. Let's get rid of all these scarecrows. We can clear that out for the next time. Griffins. How many? Yeah, okay, I did do the griffins right. Okay, good. Alright, let's go for hard. That's what she said. What? Okay, the Annis Hag. Let me make sure I'm remembering these right. Annis Hag. Yeah, they're not quite what I'm looking for. Those would be better suited for the forest. Honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'd rather put them in the forest part of this world. So we're gonna avoid that. Ooh, elephants. We're at the point now. That's true. We're at the point where we're going high enough in challenge rating. We can get some elephants going on here. 4 elephants. Fuck yeah. That's a fight right there. I'd watch 4 dudes fight 4 elephants. I would not, actually. That was so I've dropped it before, and I'm gonna sound like one of those douchebags that always tries to get attention by saying like, oh, I've been to this one place before. But when I was in Africa, elephants were actually one of the most terrifying parts of it. Having to avoid that because we would have guides going through the national parks when we were there, and the guides would have to carry around elephant guns, and they would like be checking around, like keeping an eye out for things like elephants, because one of them, he had stories about being charged by elephants before and having to hide like up in trees or in bushes or something like that for hours because elephants were nearby, and he knew they would just come after him again if he got down too early. So it's like elephants were always terrifying because they're so unassuming. Like they always get depicted as like these big gentle giants, and the fact is an elephant will fuck you up. It'll without hesitation. What the fuck was I doing? It was for wereboars. Yeah, we'll do wereboars. Why not? Wereboar. Because there are definitely boars and there are definitely wares in this region, so we'll do the wereboars. Like they always the wares always fit in. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm supposed to be doing the deadly now, aren't I? Yeah. The wares always fit in pretty well with my world in general, because it can always just be that they're a result of, you know, all of the magical stuff impacting both the humans and the creatures that encounter each other and stuff like that. 5 elephants. That sounds deadly. Because 4 elephants wasn't quite deadly. It was just intimidating. But 5 elephants now. 5 elephants. Well, 5 elephants will ruin your world. And that's that. Okay, I think we got enough time as long as I stay focused. I gotta be out of here in maybe about 20 minutes. But I think I got enough time that I can try and finish up the combat parts of this world here. I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, we can get away with that. Oh wait, no, but I gotta up it to level 9. We're on level 9. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, 7 yellow fairy dragons. Let's do it. 7 fairy dragon, young yellow. Alright. There we go. Gosh damn, stupid nose. My stupid nose is bothering me. I wish it would stop. Giant boars. Yeah, let's do some giant boars. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've had giant boars show up, and we just had the wereboar, so let's make sure we got some giant boars. 4 giant boars. 4 giant boars. It was the most boring thing everyone's seen. It was a giant boar. Like 4 giant boar. How you like that pun? Manticores? Yeah, we've already established manticores exist. Let's go ahead and throw in some of them. 3 manticores. 3 manticore. One more easy. One more easy. Wow, this music is getting me kind of amped right now. Like I'm feeling that. Like I feel heroic right now, man. I don't know about any of y'all, but I'm feeling like a hero of time here. Just, you know, throwing that one out there. Oh boy. Okay. Bro shark, no. Yeah, we can do more elephants. We can get more elephants. The Edens aren't quite right for this aesthetic. Yeah, 2 elephants. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 2 elephant. Alright. No, elephant. Elephant. The elephants. Okay, and we're on to the mediums. On to the mediums. Rhinoceros. Fuck yes, land rhinos. Rhinos are cool. I like rhinos. They're cool animals. Those are better than the shit they have to deal with. Because their horns are magical. Even if their horns were magical, let them keep their magic. Stupid poachers. So selfish. It's a kind of a tasteless joke, isn't it? It's a pretty serious situation with the rhinos. Rhinoceros. It's kind of a serious situation considering they're basically extinct in the wild. They only exist in zoos. Sad state of affairs when humans are that selfish. But if I'm being perfectly honest, it doesn't feel like something that's like a new phenomenon that is worth worrying about, you know? Like humans have always been selfish when you look at human history. And the fact that humans in general have become enlightened enough to at least try and rescue them and keep them alive, even if it has to be in captivity, I think actually demonstrates, when you think about the entirety of human history, I think it does a pretty good job of demonstrating growth for humans. I don't know, just, you know, a couple cents thrown out there. 2 wyverns. That sounds medium difficulty. 2 wyvern. Yellow. We'll make them all yellow. Because, yeah, I'm kind of leaning into this. Well, we'll make the final bad like some sort of, like, young gold dragon or some shit. I like that. I like that. Aurochs. Those are, like, the big, giant, like, bulls, right? Auroch. Why can't I... Wait, how did I spell it? Oh, because it's only plural. Aurochs. Yeah, these things are pretty cool. Like the giant bison. I could see the giant bison existing in this part of the world. I'm on board with it. How many was it? 2? Oh, we didn't actually math it out yet. For a medium. 7. 7 giant aurochs. 7 giant aurochs. There we go. Alright, on to the hard ones. Gotta take care of the hard ones. Oh yeah, see there we got the young copper dragon. Okay, hold on. I want to see something. Level 10. Let me do dragon. Adult copper dragon is... I'm trying to make sure I've mathed this out right and I can think about the... Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. Adult copper dragon or whatever. Let me take off. Let's do that. Adult gold dragon is a little bit more, but if we just like reflavor one of the adult brass or adult coppers or whatever, then yeah. So that's going to be the right. I'm just double checking to make sure I've got this in mind. It won't be an ancient one, but an adult one is within the realm of possibility for a group of 10. To battle, and I like the ones that are a bit lower, more on the hard range of difficulty, because when it's just the hard, then we can also have a couple minions coming in, so like a couple fairy dragons floating around to just sort of distract and have an impact with that whole action economy and stuff like that. So I just wanted to double check that and make sure that it was going to be possible and reasonable for me to do the young ones. So we can do the young copper dragon here. We'll do that. I like that idea. What are we? Wait, what am I working on here? I'm working on a hard combat. Wow, she's gonna jump into deadly quite a bit though. Yeah. Okay. So we'll save those. Oh wait, hold on. Level 10? Am I? How did I get to level 10? Oh jeez. Ah, beans. Did I mess everything up? I think I messed everything up. So here's what we're gonna do though. Here's what we're gonna do. Well, that gives us we can do 2 young copper dragons. So 2x young copper. Why did I put the parenthesis there? 2x young copper dragon. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, because I already did the work here, copy that. We're just gonna paste these over. You know what? I should double check that and see. Did I see the giant boars? Yeah, giant boar. Okay, let's see how many giant boar for the level 9s. Giant boar. Let's get rid of those guys here. How many does it take? 4. Okay, no, I guess we are okay. Somehow that got changed. I guess we're okay. Wait. Yeah, it's true for both of them though. It wouldn't have changed over. Yeah, I must have done that. So I'm just gonna copy and paste these. Only change to level 10 to check the adult dragon. Oh, you're right. Thank you. God damn. See, this is why you guys are so helpful to me. This is why I love you guys. You guys take care of me when I'm being a dum-dum. It's I've been going for almost 2 hours here. I'm getting loopy. I appreciate you. See, this is why we keep you around. No, thank you, Omega. I appreciate that. That's helpful. That was really helpful. I really appreciate that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, random hard. Giant boars. Why not? Why not some giant boars? 9 giant boars. 9 giant boars. Let's see how they run. 9 giant boar. And then we can do the deadly at level 9. Deadly at level 9. Random deadly at level 9. Let's see here. Am I still on level 10? God damn it! Son of a bitch! I should just quit. I should just quit right now. Okay, so but the only one we missed was the oh wait, yeah, the copper dragon wasn't there. Okay, that one's gonna be on the hard. No wait, no. Was that fuck? I can't remember anything. I'm so mixed up. I need a nap. I need a nap. Okay, young copper dragons. Can we make that work for the level 9s? What was the situation? Yes. Okay, so the young copper dragon was for the level 9s. 2x young copper dragon. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. Everyone's watching this going like, oh, I don't know if we should listen to this guy. He's a little messed up. He seems like a bit of an idiot. All right. And then it was the oops. We can fucking clear. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to clear that out. This guy's stupid. I don't know if I want to listen to him anymore. Giant boar. Fuck me, man. I'm fucking sitting here trying to act like I'm some sort of knowledgeable authority on this shit, and I can't even remember what level I'm working on. 8x giant boar. Alright, and then now we can do the deadly. Random deadly. Give me a good deadly. Come on, give me a good deadly. No, I don't. Oh wait, I should probably get rid of giant. That'll probably help. Random deadly. Visible stalker's not bad. An Oni. Adult Cooper Dragon. Adult Pooper Dragon. No, not gonna be that one yet. T-Rex. No, not the adult Copper Dragon. Fuck off with that shit. Fuck out of here with all these things I'm not using. God damn it. Is it gonna be impossible? Elephants. There we go. Just a deadly number of elephants. We'll call it good there. Deadly number of elephants. There we go. 6 elephants. That's deadly. That is definitely deadly. I can guarantee you that if I were going against 6 elephants, I would assume that it was now a life and death situation. Okay. Now we can actually go to level 10. We can stay there and get this shit done. Alright, scarecrows. Scarecrows. 7 scarecrows are easy. That's good. 7. You know, that one actually tracks in real life, too. If I saw 7 scarecrows in the field, I feel like I'd be able to trash those things pretty easily. Because it's the same thing when they're like real life scarecrows versus the weird ass animated ones that you see in D&D. Okay, yeah, we'll do 2 wereboars. Why not? 2 wereboar. Wereboar. There boar. Werewolf. There wolf. There castle. Why are you talking like that? Oh, I thought you wanted to. No, I don't want to. You guys like that? That can be the stream. The rest of the stream from now and forever. Like, that's all the stream is me quoting Gene Wilder movies. That's it. That's all it is from now on forever. We're changing the nature of the channel right now. 7 yellow fairy dragons. Is this the yeah. 7 fairy dragon. Young yellow. Okay, one more easy. Yogi Master, the Barghest, Stone Melder, Winter Wolf. Come on, give me some good shit. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. Fairy. Yeah, so these ones we could just reflavor the color and call them a different color. Even though it says green here, I could change them to being, I could just say that they look yellow and they're just the older ones. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it that way. Fuck it. My world, I can do what I want. How many was it? 4. 4 fairy dragon older yellow. Old yeller. There they are. Okay, onto the mediums. And a medium. Oops. I gotta get rid of that shit. And a medium. Crushing Wave Priest, Tenarok, Tiger, Water Elemental. Why would there be a water elemental in the grasslands? What even is going on with that? Shadow Mastiff, Tenarok, Fire Elemental, Scarecrow. I mean, we're leaning on the skeleton on the scarecrows pretty heavily, but I feel like shoot, we can't get it up there. Like, I feel like I'm kind of on the dregs of non-humanoid. Like, that's the real challenge here. Is I've sort of set the line in the sand of there being not humanoids for these random ones. I really want this to be monster and beast heavy because it just doesn't make sense for there to be humanoids around. Like, there hasn't been any sort of humanoid civilization within hundreds of miles for centuries, for millennia really. So it wouldn't make sense, and I wanna stay consistent with that. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, and you can't make me. So take that. Saber-tooth tiger. There we go. That's one of the ones. That's one of our good ones. How many for a medium? 7. 7 saber-toothed tigers. I sound like the count. 1 2 up to 7 7 saber-toothed tigers. Saber-toothed tigger. And the T-I double gut 7 saber-toothed tigers. That's 1 medium. We need 2 more mediums? Yes, we need 2 more mediums. Giant boar and griffins, those are both good options. They were both CR2, so they will both take the same amount. So we can just do it once here. That's going to be nice and quick. 7 giant boars and 7 griffins. Those are good options. 7x giant boar and 7x griffin. There we go. There's our mediums. Let's get some hards. Let's, guys, I don't want to alarm you, but I'm about to get hard. Fucking stupid joke. Why do I do this? Why do I say such stupid things? Like, people, like, this goes out there and I leave it out there. I have it stay on the internet. People can find this. But one of these days I'm going to try and run for president and they're going to be like, did you make an overabundance of penis jokes? That's going to be like a debate question. While you were a Twitch streamer at one point in time, I'll be like, I was in my 30s. I thought it was funny. I don't know. 9x rhinoceros. Rhinoceros. It's fine. It's a ridiculous imaginary scenario. I'd never want to be president. Fuck that shit. That sounds like a horrible job. Because you'd have to actually work. Like I wouldn't be able to stomach being a shitty president, so I'd actually have to work. And like, fuck, man, my whole life is about minimizing the amount of work that I have to do, so I can do fun shit like this. Like, why would I ever give this up? This is way cooler. This is way more fun. 7, yeah, we'll do the phase fighter. 7X phase spider. Not exactly matching the aesthetic, but fuck, I love a battle with a phase spider. That shit's fun. That shit's real fun. Alright, and now deadly. And I'm deadly. Adult Copper Dragon. See, I'm not going to do that for the random encounters because I'm going to have the Adult Copper Dragon be one of the final baddies here. Wereboars. Yeah, we can do Wereboars. That sounds deadly. 7 Wereboars. I like it. That's, wow, wait, that adjusted XP jumped the fuck up there, though. Alright, I'm going to throw an audible here. I know it's not actually deadly, but looking at that adjusted XP based on what our sort of limit is for a deadly, I'm going to go ahead and just do 6, even though it's technically classified as hard, because that's really close. 6 of the, yeah, 6 Wereboars. 6 Wereboar. There we go. That's good enough. That's good enough. It'll be there. I can pretty much guarantee that no one will ever double check me mid-session on whether or not that's actually a deadly combat or not. So there we go. That's perfect. That's perfect. That gives us our random enemies for the daytime planes. And now here's one thing that I do to streamline a little bit. Final tip before I call it a day. I copy my own shit all the fucking time. Like, fuck that. I'm not recreating that whole table. So we're going to paste it for the plains nighttime. No, I don't want 2 P's. Autocorrect, why can't you figure that one out? Plains. Oh, wait, hold on. But I want it stylized. Because that makes it more visually appealing. And it's just, you know, we should all treat ourselves to the notion of taking the time to make things pretty for our own selves to look at, you know. Plains nighttime. So it always saves time. I know it's a little cheap, you know. If I wanted to really get intense with it, I could recreate the table, but it's taken me hours to even just kind of come up and create with that. Granted, hours while also spending a lot of time discussing things. Ooh, that was fun. You guys could see the slight pit stain I got going on there. That was fun. It's like I've been sitting in the same spot for hours. Probably no one would have noticed it if I hadn't called attention to it. But here we are. But yeah, it takes a lot of time. And the fact is, we would never encounter all of these, and no one would ever remember the exact composition of any of them. It is just so unlikely that there would ever be repeats, even with twice the odds of doing it during the day and the night. It's just easier to copy and paste it. So then we can spend more time having deviations between all the other things, which are going to be much more importantly altered by the time of day, right? So it's going to be much more important to be more detailed in like the magical happenings or the NPCs and what the nature of NPCs they encounter is going to be. So so we just copy and paste that, and then we just got a template here for when we start working on all of our other non-planes tables. But what's up with you? Uh-oh. That's like a hairball noise. Are you working on a hairball? I'd prefer if you didn't. Or maybe go over to like the tiled floor instead of on that nice blanket that I crocheted for you. Put a lot of work into that shit. It'd be a shame for it to get stained. Okay, it's passed. I know. I was only joking. I would help you take care of it, and I wouldn't be pissed off. We can just throw the blanket in the wash. It's fine. It's fine. But now I'm going to get back to streaming because everyone probably thinks I'm a psycho. Because I'm sitting here talking to my cat. I don't know. You guys are along for the ride? If you don't already know what you signed up for by watching my stream, you're going to learn soon. I talk to my cat, treat her like she's a child, and I do mediocre things on stream. But yeah, there we go. That was good progress for the day. And actually some really cool discussions about different character ideas and all that kind of stuff. This was a fun stream. I dig it. This is why I love streaming, man. This is so much fun. It's so much fun to have these conversations with people. You know, and it's like I say, if I just wanted to like silently sit there and work on stuff, then I wouldn't bother streaming. I love the conversations. I think it's so much fun. But I think it's flattering to me. Kitty's gonna stand in front, but that's okay. Joke's on you. I'm done writing, so I don't need to look at the screen really. But it's flattering to me that people are interested in the stuff that I'm creating, and I'm excited about sort of the progress that we're making already on this project, and the idea of soon having it be having enough content that I can start sharing it with people. I think that's really fun, and it's kind of given me a new type of excitement about world building, about home brewing, about playing D&D, being a DM, all of that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun, and it's entirely possible because of the people that stop by and watch and converse with me, and so it's just a big old thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who stopped by, and as I always say, a big thank you to everyone who watched the VODs too. Like, it doesn't have to be in person, like I see the number of views I get on especially these writing streams, and I think it's awesome that people would even want to see what I'm up to, even when they can't ask questions or directly converse with me or everyone else in the stream. It's just, I think it's really cool. And that's why I'm hoping to, in the very near future, learn and figure out how to, create a Discord channel and, couple it with this channel, just so that we can work on continuing to build a community of people that like to talk about these types of things. I've got an awesome audience, as limited as it is at this stage. I've only been streaming a couple months, but I've already got a substantial audience for what I ever expected I would get, and it's cool people that are fun to talk with. They've got cool ideas. I love sharing those ideas. It's fun stuff. But at any rate, I'll stop gushing because I do got to get myself going here. I've got other stuff I got to take care of today. So again, thank you so much to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate each and every one of you, and a big thank you to everyone watching the VODs. I appreciate each and every one of you. The rest of this week, I have started a new game for my morning streams. When, if you are of a mind, you can either watch the VODs or watch me live. When I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm trying to get caffeine in me before I have to do my morning conditioning workouts for kickboxing, you guys can come watch me struggle bust through video games at that time. So I've been doing that every week, and I think it's fun. It's a fun way to wake up. And then also around this time every day, the rest of this week, I should be able to stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. I do video games at this time. We're still playing through Mass Effect for that stream slot. And then, hi Kitty. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Yes, come sit on my lap. So yeah, I'm still playing Mass Effect. If you're just here for the writing, that is totally cool. I do not blame you. That is 100% fine by me. If that's what you're looking for, tune in again around this time on Wednesday and Friday, because I do the writing streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's what I got. That's what's coming up this week. Also, I'll a lot of times just randomly in the evenings when I've got time, I'll do a little extra gaming streaming. That's when I'll do that. The evenings and the mornings are when I do the other game. Right now it's the Outer Worlds. I guess I'm going to be complete about plugging my shit that I've got going on here. Everything is a commercial. Buy shit and give me your support. Fuck, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's everything I've got going on this week. So tune in for whatever of it is interesting to you. I appreciate all of it. And just my final ask is, as we're all, splitting up from this little pocket of fun we've just had today, let's all just go out there and try to be good people to everyone. I mean, it's real easy in modern day times, just, the way people are these days, it's real easy to be mean and rude to each other. But I think we can all agree that the world's better when we're not that way. So it's like, let's just try and, be better than that. And let's try and, be the changes that we'd want to see in this world. It's like, you guys have made my day better. So I'm going to try and take that energy and make someone else's day better. And I hope you guys can all kind of keep that energy and don't stop at me. Try and make someone else's day better. I think you guys are all capable of it. You're all cool people. And I appreciate you, I appreciate you guys being around. So, with that, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys next time. So, until then, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later.